Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming by today. This is a very different video for my channel and something I've been contemplating for doing for a while, and I've been watching so many on YouTube. So this is going to be an anti-haul. If you've never seen an anti-haul, it's pretty much things that are going around or popular items that people are purchasing, or you're seeing a ton of different Instagram posts, and for one reason or another, I'm not going to buy it. So it may just be preferences, it may just be trendy things that I'm not interested in, it may just be I have too many. So I'm just going to go through some things. I have a little list going, and I'll try to find pictures of them. So they're just some things that I'm just personally not interested in buying, or was going to buy and decided against it for one reason or another. So we're just going to get started. I obviously have already tried most of these in store. Some of the things are actually very new to Sephora, but since I do work in operations, I get to see everything a few weeks ahead of time. So first one that I'm just not interested in is the new Becca highlight, the Prismatic Amethyst. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I can see it working for so many people, but for me, I just know that type of highlight is probably going to be used a few weeks, and then I'm going to get over the trend and just use something that's a little bit more natural. So it's absolutely gorgeous if you like that holographic pinky hue on your cheek. For one, again, it's just not for me, but also just pink tones in general for a highlight just don't work with my undertones. I have yellow undertones when I use pink ones. That just makes me look a little ill and just not very flattering. So it's just not for me. Moving on to the Too Faced highlights. So they're absolutely stunning. The packaging is pretty cute, and they're like prismatic, and you have like the little diamond cuts, and it's gorgeous when you're looking at them. But when I've used them at work, they're just a shimmery mess, and they get all over the place, and I've tried to make them work, and they are beautiful when you first apply them, but for one, they just don't stay on my face, and two, they kind of like get glitter everywhere. So they're very shimmery. They're a very shimmery highlight, not like one that just gives you a glow, not that ones that like give you a little bit of like a gleam. These ones are very shimmery, and so it's just not my cup of tea. If I was to pick one, I'd probably go with the golden color. The other two shades are pink, and then you have like a white one, and I just feel like I already have things in my collection that probably would fit the bill too. So moving on to the Bobbi Brown Art Stick Liquid Lips. I really wanted to like them. I really did, because I'm a huge Bobbi Brown fan. I love liquid lipsticks, and I just don't understand their applicators. I don't know why they wanted to be something different. Like, I understand like doe foots are what everyone uses. There's nothing really new about them. Sometimes they'll cut a little like lip in so it's more comfortable, but I mean, most people, when you're doing a liquid lipstick, you're going to use a doe foot, and it's easy, and you can really get where you need to go. And unfortunately, Bobbi Brown tried to do a different route where they have it almost like a lip gloss type of formula where you just squeeze it and it pops in. And I tried using it a few times, and it's just messy. I mean, it could just be user error, but for me, I just feel like that was a big miss for them. I really wanted to enjoy their liquid lipsticks, but it's just a messy application, so I feel like you would have to almost bring a lip brush with you if you're having it on the go. They're trying something new. I just personally think it wasn't the right way to go, so I'm just not interested in those. Moving on to the YSL Volupte Tint Bombs. I always say that wrong, but it's the Tintin Bombs. So they're just a sheer lipstick balmy type product that's for like $34, and I just don't see myself purchasing something like that for that much. I'm a huge fan of my new Sephora collection lip balm. It's like $6. It's pink. I get the Goji Berry one. It's the perfect shade of pink. They're really creamy, they're really hydrating, they have anti-aging properties in them, and so for me, going from 6 to 32 is a bit much. And I feel like you're almost, I mean, that's absolutely adorable, of course. The packaging's beautiful. You're getting the YSL brand, but I don't know if it's worth that much. Moving on to the Anastasia Glow Kit. I didn't really enjoy them. The formula itself was very chunky, and it's pretty when you're applying it to other people, but for me, it just wasn't worth it for me. For me, having 6 might use highlights versus me just splurging getting one really good highlight. I'd rather get the one highlight that I'd use until the very end rather than like, I might use this. Palettes in general, when it comes to face products, I'm just not into. They're absolutely gorgeous and they're definitely worth the money if you use that type of thing. But me, in my history, I know I'll buy a face product and maybe have like one product in the whole set that I love. And then I'm like, why do I have this big giant thing on my vanity? I want to put it away. Like, I'd much rather have a small blush than like a big palette that I have to like pick and choose. So I just know from my preference and my history that having a palette of highlights is just not going to get the love and attention that I want it to. I do know that they're coming out with their new one that is the sister one to, oh, I forget the name of it. It was the one that was like the blue silver packaging from last year. They're coming out with the little sister, and that one does interest me. But again, I just know my history. I'm not going to use that much highlight, and I would much rather buy one that I'm going to use to the very end than getting a palette that has 4 that I might use. So that's just my 2 cents on face palettes in general. Also, the Anastasia lip palette. Sephora's obviously, or at least our Sephora just got them this week, and I can see it working for color artists or a makeup artist, but for the average person, I just don't see the need for a lip palette in general. Nothing against Anastasia, like even the Urban Decay from Holiday, I just don't see a need for it for me. Again, if you're a makeup artist, yeah, absolutely. You have all the shades there. You can mix them up and you can make your own custom shade for your client. But if the average person, you're not going to be walking around with a lip brush and a giant palette in your purse. So that just seems a bit extreme for me. So yeah, lip palettes, cheek palettes, face palettes, they're just not for me. I can see them working for others, but not for me. Urban Decay. So I have had the luxury of playing with the Vice Special Effects lip products for the past couple weeks, and they're gorgeous on. When you apply them, they look beautiful. They're shimmery and they're sheer, and they even feel they dry down, like they wear fine. But there's some flaws which would make it so that I would not purchase them. First off, if you're someone who does not like to taste disgusting things, they're not for you. When they taste like straight up earwax, like they're disgusting. I had put one on and I just had licked my lips, and it was disgusting. So that alone, I would not recommend that, because I don't see how a lip product could taste that bad and you'd be okay with it. And it's not like you do it once, like when it's wet and it kind of is gross. Like mine was completely dry and it tasted bad, and I wore it for a few hours, and I feel like even after a few hours it tasted bad. So I just don't want that in my life. Also, another downer to that is that it is considered a gel, and when you get it wet, so it dries down, and then you drink a cup of water, and then a little bit gets on your lips, it turns back into a gel. And so it gets this weird gooey consistency, and then it doesn't sit quite right, and then it dries down again. It just looks weird. And just the whole experience of it being gooey in general is just an odd thing. So a few different flaws for me that make it so I don't want to purchase them. Moving on to Benefit, they're coming out with their new blush, the California. It is stunning. The packaging is beautiful. I've seen it in person. The packaging is beautiful, and I could see the color working for deeper skin tones. For me, it's too dark. It's way too dark. It is a bright coral, and then the center sun-looking bit is very golden. And not just like a slight, like somewhat champagne-y color. It's very yellow gold, and mixed with the bright coral blush, it just does not look very pleasing on my face. So I can see it again working for those who have deeper complexions. I feel like it would be so stunning for those who have darker complexions, because of a nice bright blush, you get the fun highlight. Not for me, unfortunately. I am though interested, and this was originally on my list. I had the Too Faced Natural Loves palette on my list, so I'm like, how many natural palettes can one person have? But then I saw it in person. The brand rep brought it in, and it is absolutely stunning, and I really now want it. And it's relatively decent. So this is definitely not part of the anti-haul. This is the thing that I'm going to be getting. So and it's absolutely gorgeous. When you look at it online, you're just like, it's just a neutrals palette, but in person, there's just like a row of pinks and purples that I'm just like, oh, this is way more versatile than just having different shades of nudes. This is a really just beautiful palette for those with multiple different skin tones. There's a lot of deeper colors, there's some shimmers, there's some mattes. It just looks absolutely stunning. The pigmentation on them is beautiful. The packaging is so springy and just floral and fun. I'm so excited for that palette to launch. So I think it's $56. Totally worth it in my opinion. So I feel like, yeah, I'm not gonna get all of these products, but this one, I would say just at least look at it when it comes in store because it's absolutely beautiful. And this video took a turn, but I guess it's a segue to me thinking about doing a video about what's on my loves list, like what I'm planning on purchasing as things that are on my future wish list. So if you're interested in that type of video, let me know down in the comments below, or if there's something that you have been interested in and didn't decided against, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to just have a little conversation. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you like this type of video. If you want to see more antique hauls, maybe like every quarter or so, let me know. And make sure to subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys!